Morning. Wednesday today, and I've just seen the date by accident. It's the 25th of September. Where has September gone? You told me it was the 15th of September and I believed you. Gone like that. Why doesn't January go that quick? January always seems to drag. Anyway, just turned up to this 225. It's gonna get a 2,000 hour service, and there's a couple other bits to do to it as well. So we'll crack on, shall we? Weather's good, which is a nice surprise when I woke up this morning. Yeah. We'll get the service done and out of the way, and we'll talk about the other jobs to do. Just lifted a track to see if my bungs are correct. There goes my sunglasses, so there's a reason now to get down off the track when I didn't need to. Oh, I've just stood on them. Damn it. Yeah, look at that. Stopped it in the right position. Bet I couldn't do that again. What's the chances the other side's correct? 50-50. Miles away. That track wants to go back the ways. Back the ways we go with that one. Leave that on a high idle to warm through. I'll go and get the van brought over. Should be plenty of space for a wagon to spin around there. Surely. Yeah, that'll be fine. Oh, I tell you, it's lovely being in the sunshine, isn't it? Hopefully the rest of the day continues to be as bright. So because I was lazy on Monday, I didn't take out my 2 empty drums, which has worked in my favour today, because normally what I would do is drain the engine oil first and then set the slew gearbox off draining. But because I've got plenty of empty drums, and because it's really cold today, well, it'll have been less than 0 degrees overnight up here, I would imagine. Still not above 10 degrees yet, but you can see the slew gearbox is pretty slow to come out. So that'll be draining the whole time I'm servicing the machine. I'm just going to hang around till that drum's full and then top that drum up. Final drives are draining, so all my oils will be out soon. Funny, isn't it? And I've noticed it a few times when I've been servicing these 20 tonners. That's the part number there, 00036. That's the part number there, 00036. Exactly the same part number, but I suppose the only difference is the badge on it. It's about an inch shorter. And it doesn't seem to hurt the machine, doesn't seem to affect it. Just have a cupful less of engine oil in the system, I suppose. Or a cupful more in the sump. But yeah, don't know what that's about. I've done my pilot filter in here and I've noticed my hydraulic oil is low. So when I'm doing the return filter, which I'm about to do, we'll remember, won't we? Put some hydraulic oil in it. Not seeing anything suspicious like the last time I topped the hydraulic oil up. Final drive levels are good. Going by the speed at which the slew gearbox is emptying. There's no hydraulic oil in that either. So I'll put it down to a burst hitch hose. That's generally the case with these forestry diggers. Get it topped up. Hydraulic oil is very low. Normally it comes halfway up that bit. It's not even on the glass. It's got to be more than a couple of litres, isn't it? Anyway, I've got a oil sample before I dilute it with new oil. Yeah, just been a fair leak. Can't see anything around the valve chest that's wet. Not even down there. One of life's mysteries. 25 litres is taking it to the bottom of the red marker, which is fine, it's adequate, but I like to take things to the top. That's all I've got, unfortunately. Hardly ever go through using hydraulic oil, believe it or not, and if I do, it's just a 5 litres at a time just to take it up to the top mark. So yeah, a bit of a surprise. Normally I carry 40, which would have seen it to the top definitely, but not today. Never mind, we'll leave a message with the driver to top it up. Now normally, I wouldn't normally encourage you to fill from the return filter because it just takes forever. But what you can do is put the bolt into there. That keeps the tank breathing and allows the level to equalise as you pour it in. Otherwise all you end up doing is filling this up and thinking, oh, I'm over full, and then it isn't, if that makes sense. So I always use that one if you're filling it, but because I've got this return filter off, it doesn't really matter. Right, fuel filters are changed, that's all the filters apart from the... Oh no, I've got the air filters to do, hang on. Backtrack a bit out, a couple more filters to go yet, but feels like the bulk of it's done now. I've just got oils to go back in. We're not getting on too bad. Whoa, do you know something? Should have known better than to stand back and do that. Right, I'll bleed the other filter off. Right, yeah, filters are done. Cleaned this spinner out as well, but wasn't that bad. Right then, engine oils. I think I'll do first. Yeah, I'll do engine oil first. Got lots of empty drums on the van now, more than I expected today. Ugh, I'll get a good MPG on the way home. So, service complete. All done. I'm going to set the van running and I'm going to warm my lunch up. Green Thai curry today. I am living, L-I-V-I-N. Living. And then we'll have a look at this AdBlue pump. Yeah, while the van's running. Come and cover off using my nifty straps to save my finger ends. Yeah, I've got quite a lot of empty drums on the van now. That one there is empty. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. Another one at the back, 5. Yeah, need to have a good restock, don't I? I don't think I've ever had so many empties on the van. But there you go. Definitely got enough to go and do the next service anyway, so that's half the fight, I suppose. Yeah, those straps make a hell of a difference. You can physically lift it, it's just awkward. Anyway, 1 is loose. 2 is loose. I can hear my works phone ringing. Oh, why is that ring today? 3. I was fairly confident because I've had them out about, believe it or not, 300 hours ago. So I knew they'd come out. Wasn't so worried. Not like the last time I pulled them out. Where only did he look? Bit of heat and that's that job knackered. I saw you saying I should get some of this thermo paste or something. To have a look into that. It's one of those things that'll go at the back of my mind until I've just remembered then when I'm removing them. And I think, should have had some of that tackle, just save myself a problem in future. Oh, there we go. So without losing that gasket, don't go anywhere, that gasket's gonna go, that gasket's gonna fall into oblivion, never to be seen again. I'll have you, thank you. You there. Oh, there is a bit of a crust, look. Anyway, what I'm gonna do, before I do anything, I'm gonna see if I can get it to do a spray pattern test, because things have changed since the last time I plugged in with my laptop. I've had updates and things, so perhaps it was a software issue with my laptop. So we're gonna get that connected now. I'm just gonna go and see who's trying to bother me. Oh god, it's 1:30. I knew it was later than lunchtime because my tummy's telling me so. Like I say, I've got a 140 which is literally 100 yards off the main road on the way home. That's just a 500-hour service and an air intake temp sensor to do, and then I've got a 210 working close to Carlisle that I need to go and see. I've got a lot to do today, and the day's nearly gone. It is what it is, isn't it? The 210 near Carlisle, can't get that till the end of the shift anyway, and with the weather being good, they'll probably be working that machine till 7 o'clock. Plan was to go home and have some tea and then go back out to it, but by the time I get back through to Carlisle, I'll be able to go straight to it. Okay, I'll talk to this dig. The reason I've not started it yet is I'm pretty sure to be able to do an injector test, the temperatures in the exhaust need to be below 100 degrees. And obviously I don't want to run it up just now and then have to wait for the temperatures to come back down. Or what I normally do is if the temperatures are high, I just pull the temperature sensors out of the exhaust and let them cool quicker. But that's just an extra step to an already busy schedule, so we'll just not start it yet and see if I can get it to do a spray test. Okay, so it's doing the first bit of the test. Now it's doing the pressure build up. I might suddenly stop here if the pressure goes up. It's slowly starting to. I want to see that get to about 5 before I jump out. Nah, kicked itself out like last time. It will not do the pressure build up part of it. And it's gone back up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, it's going to do it. Right, jump, Al, jump. It's not too bad, that. Obviously I've not cleaned the injector in, but see if we can do your slow motion. I think because that injector's all crusted up, I'm going to put an injector in it. That's my honest opinion. It's worked for the other two that I've done for consumption problems. It's doing the run-up test now, build-up test, which is what it wasn't doing beforehand. Yeah, just because it's all crusted up, you see. Seems sensible. There's no point fitting a pump for no reason, especially when the other two machines with the same problem have been that. Don't think I've got one on the van. Probably should start carrying one now, shouldn't I? That's 3 times now that I've needed one. Normally, if I've used something 3 times within a short space of time, and it's fairly small, which that is, then it's a good idea to carry one. I think that's what I'm going to do, you know. Put it all back together, put the lid down and get a new one. Just thought, if I'm coming all the way back up the road to replace that, there's also that, what is it, Al? That fuel filter glass to replace on that 27. I've not heard from it since I was at it last week, so presumably that machine's been behaving itself as well. Good plan. It's a nice little round trip, that. Maybe do that on Friday. Save a nice job for Friday. This machine should be parked up for the rest of the week, so I can nip back up to this. I think I'm going to do that. It's also come up with camshaft position error faults. So I'm going to bring a camshaft sensor because the wiring and the plug looks lovely. That's it down there. And in my experience, not that I've had many do it, but when we get an issue with these camshaft sensors, just remove and replace. I don't think they're shimmed. In fact, I'm fairly confident they're not. So I might come back with a camshaft position sensor and also an injector. That would be good, wouldn't it? That'll please the parts one, won't it? Pretty sure he ordered that in especially for me. Now it's going to sit on the shelf. They're not cheap either. But said if I'm ever coming back to it, I'm taking one with us. Because it's played ball today. Isn't that clever? Right. Blooming thing. So, what have I got left to do then? Just fire it up. I'm not going to do that yet because I've just got comfortable. Disconnect from that. Reset the service clock. Tell you what and all, if I'm coming back to this, I'll mind on and off. Well, I will. I'll have 20 litres of hydraulic oil with us so we can get the oil level correct. It's not like it's going anywhere. So, everything happens for a reason. So good. Right then, we'll reset everything. Okay, I would normally find somewhere with a nice view to have my lunch, but I'm absolutely ravenous. Nearly 2 o'clock now. To be fair, I'll show you on the way out the woods, but it's beautiful. Probably just along that road and turn left. About 2 or 3 minutes, but I'm gonna stay here, have something to eat. Re-energise for the next job. Oh, speaking of re-energising, got my green Thai curry in here. And then I've also got been to the cake shop at Morrison's. Yeah, the other one was my breakfast. Shh, don't tell my wife I've had 2 in one day. I'm really treating myself today, like. Right, lunchtime. Yeah, a view like this while I had my lunch is what I should have done, but I didn't. I decided to stare at a hillside and some trees. Yeah, all the way over there, look. Right over there. That must be about 40 mile away, that, I'm going to say. The Cheviots. Cheviots. This basin here that we're in. Just all, that's it. I was going to say it's all arable, but obviously it isn't because there's moo cows. But I would say the majority of this land is arable. Nice big open fields, and somewhere down there with the River Tweed going that direction east to Berwick upon Tweed. I am an encyclopedia of geographical knowledge. You're welcome. Right then, I'm here 20 minutes earlier than I expected to be, so that's a win. Engine warning lock. This is what we've come to fix, as well as service. Have a look in here. Come on, there we go. Fill your information. Real time. Inlet air temperature high. I bet you it isn't like. Can we see the inlet temperature through the gauge panel? I don't think so. We'll see. Engine signal. See the DPF intake temp. Engine coolant, engine fuel. Engine intake air temp, 25 degrees. Wow. If it's 25 degrees, I wouldn't have the gilet on. Oh, that still saw chopping away all afternoon. I hate the noise of a 2-stroke blooming still saw. Oh, the noise goes right through you. That's the trouble sensor. That's the plug for it. Wiring looks okay. I think the easiest thing to do is get the new sensor and fit it and see if the engine management light disappears. It should be in here somewhere. Pilot filter, there it is. Didn't think it'd be in a box. Right, out with the old, in with the new. Confident of that. slip this one in. Ugh. Where's it gone? There it is. Ah. No engine management light. So what does it think the temperature is? Let's see. It's about 12.5 degrees down here. Well, that's what the van says. So anywhere in that region will be good. Bearing in mind it's been in my hand, so we'll see. Monitoring. Engine signal. All the way down to the bottom, wasn't it? Yeah, there we go. No, it's not. It's the fuel temp. There we go, 15 degrees. That's not far off, is it? Good. Definitely not 25. I like it when things go to plan. So we'll do an engine oil change, fuel filter change on this. Be flying. Someone's had a bad day. Oh. Can't decide which window it was. I think it might have been that one. That's still got the foam in. Not this one, because normally when this window goes, so do those stickers. Nobody replaces them stickers, do they, when you get to smash one of them? Radio. Yeah, I've not got much to add really. I'm just doing this and then get back through to Carlisle. 45 minutes I reckon from here. Normally the town nearby here, if I'm ever up in the borders, you come through this town, and from the town centre which you drive through, bang on an hour to get to my front door. Bang on, usually. So you don't get stuck behind a wagon. There we go then, last filter on. Put a splash of engine oil in it and we'll be flying. There you up. Hey, good job I was paying attention. Nearly ended up doubling up the oil seal there. That would have been Jurassic. Good job I spotted that. I was nearly looking at the main road to see what was going past. Pay attention. Right. All happy with that. Look at that. Other than new filters, you'd hardly know I'd been in there. Sort of. There we go, that'll do. Right. Oh, I was doing so well up until then. Yeah, I'll put some engine oil in it. There's one more little job I need to do, which we'll look at together. So, what I need to do is warm the hydraulics up to operating temperature, because the arm's dropping, but he's not sure, I don't think, whether it's this ram here, like the boom dropping, or the dipper arm dropping. So I'm just going to warm it all up, and then we'll let it sit for 10 minutes and see what settles out. But we're only at 36 degrees at the minute, so we've got a bit of working out to do. So we're at 57 degrees hydraulic oil temp. I've just marked that ram there, and then I've closed both of these rams there and there. So I'm going to go and do my oil sampling paperwork, and by the time I finish that, be able to see what's moving that shouldn't be, hopefully. I do expect the bucket ram to move because there's no lock valves, burst protection valves on it. But by rights, the dipper and the boom shouldn't budge. Okay. Okay, 5:30. Paperwork's done. Let's go and have a look at this digger. That one hasn't moved. That one's moved ever so slightly, which over 15 minutes that is acceptable. Boom ram hasn't moved. Okay. I mean, in fairness, you said it was when your arm's like that, it's falling out, so you'd expect it to do it in both directions, but I'll have a look at it falling out the way. It's annoying, my hydraulic temps dropped a bit, but yeah, I'll swing around that way and we'll curl the bucket in and give it another 10 minutes and then I'm going. So doing it this way, I've got the arm, that ram's fully stretched out, so it's going to go down the way. So in 10 minutes time, if I curl the arm in, if it moves, then there's something there, isn't there? I suppose I could clamber up there and put a white mark on it. I might. Okay, it's been 10 minutes. I marked the ram with a white marker pen and it's disappeared. So by rights, when I pull the dipper arm in, the arm should move in still. So we're going with a lock valve for this, I think, which is dipper arm in. You just do it automatically, don't you? I think it's this one. Wrong lever. We'll try again. That's a fair bit, isn't it? Right, we'll get a lock valve for this, and unfortunately, if I was, well, obviously the work that I'm going to do on Friday, go and get that 225 finished off, go and put that fuel filter housing on that 27. I'll be back up this road on Friday, but I think this machine's moving elsewhere. But where it's moving to, I have got a high track in that area to service next week, so I'll maybe do it then. Right, I'm going to park this up and head down the road. It's 20 to 6. Tell you what, I'm in luck. I thought I'd have all these gates to open, but there's some poor bugger working in the workshop, presumably. Yeah, 10 to 7. Operator of the 210 that I'm about to go and visit left me a voice message. That's what people do nowadays, don't they? Instead of talk to somebody on the phone, you just record what you're saying and then send it. I'll tell you what, I'm up to date with all the latest tech, aren't I? So yeah, I know where I'm going to is left the machine in a sensible bit where I can get to it. Because obviously this bypass job, it's all security and whatnot, so shouldn't have any trouble where I'm going to. I was already going to be coming to see this machine because I've got a couple of bits to go on it. I've just been waiting for him to, I'll be honest with you, I've been waiting for them to be rained off, him give us a phone on a Friday afternoon at 2 o'clock when I'm in the yard kicking my feet with nothing to do, saying, oh, we've been rained off, you can come and do these 2 bits for us, as opposed to me nipping out on an evening and doing it. But anyway, here we are. We'll get to the 210 and I'll show you what the problem is. Okay, so the weather isn't great, which for the first part of my job won't be a problem. And you'll see why I've just left it as a a non-urgent job in a minute or two. Right, we'll get into the cab. So the first part of this job is to replace the screen, because we've got cracks around here, which is fair enough. Totally cracked. And you'd think, oh, well, what's he dropped on there to make that happen? Well, also cracked around here as well. Plastic's all cracking away. So that was me kind of either do it on an evening or do it when it's rained off. But what's kind of caused me to come here this evening is he's got a complaint with the hydraulics. Now this machine, we've already put a couple of Negacon valves in it. He hasn't been driving this machine for a week, he's had somebody else on it, and he's jumped back on it and he says, oh, it feels terrible when he's trying to operate it. Something about when you try to grade, it's just not good. So I'm gonna have a go with that for now. It's cold in here. Brrr. I'm 17 degrees. Brrr. Right, we'll tackle these little jobs in a minute or two. I just want to warm the machine up and see how the machine performs. Okay, I've had a go with it. I can hear a hissing noise. Doesn't seem right. But I tried to get my phone mount so I could sort of show you. I'll try and wedge you between my knees, but seeing if he's trying to level any kind of stone out, the arm just doesn't seem to be sequenced properly, so it's just making a mess. Now bearing in mind I'm no digger driver, I'll put you here like this hopefully. I could do with you on there, but yeah, there's not even a phone holder in here. Right, I'll do my best to show you, hang on. You keep an eye on the bucket, don't worry about out else. What I'm going to try and do is keep the bucket teeth just off the floor. And you can see that it's all over the place. And I think these machines are generally really nice and smooth to drive, but I'm trying really, really hard now just to keep those teeth an inch, and it's just not doing what I want it to. It's alright over here, but over here, and I'm not stretching the arm right the way out, like that, and try to do it, because that's not how you, I don't think that's how you don't really grade from stretched out, you normally do it from about here, don't you? But I can't make that bucket come in. See? I am trying, I'm not, that bit there's alright. It's back here that's, it's almost as though the lift suddenly jumps up. It's more when you start to, it's really bad to describe. But it just does not, that does not feel right to me. Now when I'm watching the Negacon pressures, they're sort of all, I am tempted to fire a set of valves in there. I brought them with me because it sounded like it was back to how it was before I changed them the first time round. Yeah, but the first time I've ever replaced another set on a machine. They're not that bad to change, and I'll know as soon as I try it. Yeah, I think I'm going to get wet and have a go at that. Do I do the inside stuff first? No, of course not. We'll get wet first and then dry off while we're doing the gauge panel and the aircon keypad. This seemed like a really good idea at 9 o'clock in the morning after 2 cups of strong coffee and the sun was shining. Oh dear, I do get myself into these scrapes. Yeah, this job generally is loading 8-wheelers, so it's just on the go all day. So for that kind of work, the machine's fine. It's when it comes to put stone out that it's a problem. Hey man. Right, I'll probably put you down and you can join me back in the cab when I've changed these valves. Okay, that's them changed. Negacon valves, there's a bit of science to how it works, but these valves basically tell the pumps how much you're demanding out of them. And when I was watching it's difficult to do, but when I'm trying to bring it in nice and level, I'm looking at the Negacon pressure, and when the boom would jump up, my negacom pressure would disappear briefly. Wouldn't disappear, but it'd drop like 5 bar to the, which was it, the rear pump. And so that would suddenly, it's almost like the pumps are suddenly going like that, and that's what's making the boom go like that, I think. Don't know. I'll take this boiler suit off. I'll put that plate back down first because it's resting on the engine, and then we'll give it a go. Okay, it certainly feels different. You get to the point where you're digging for a share and you think, is that better or not? I'll try and show you. Pressures are definitely doing something a bit different. I don't know if it's me or the digger. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's 8 o'clock at night. I think I'm gonna give it back to him and see what he thinks. Like I said, the pressures are slightly higher now. Does feel different. It's bad to say what feels different, but it feels different. Yeah, I just don't know. See what he thinks. Right, there's the old one. You can see around here it's all cracking. Presumably with the immense heat from the sunshine and whatnot from the summer. There's the new one. I have noticed that it's got a newer software in it, so not too sure what that means, but yeah, I've got the cab ripped out, look. Cardboard on the floor, it's got mucky boots. So it looks like under there. Not an awful lot really. That's the, what is that? Oh yeah, keypad twirly doodah. Those 2 plugs there go to your AC bit. Everything else is just there. What's that down there, look? A module for something. Very easy. You just need to remember there's a screw on the inside of here. Now if you've got the dash 7 you have a cup holder as well, and there's like a little stepped washer that needs to go back in before you put that back up. Remember that. But yeah, dash 5 and below there's a screw on the inside of here which 9 out of 10 times I forget about, and then I go to lift the plastic up and I can't. 2 screws here which you access when you take out the what do I call that? Call it something, and folk go, eh? Oh, I can't remember now. It's late and I'm pretty fed up, to be honest. I'm 8 o'clock at night doing something stupid like this. At least I'll have achieved something. I think I need to come back and do an on-site visit while the machine's working, just to get a grasp of what all it's doing, because I don't know whether it's my lack of skills that's making it do that. or what. You never know. Might come on the phone tomorrow. Oh, it's a different machine. But got a feeling it won't be the case, like, we'll see. Screws set off, right. Probably going to be a long video this. You're welcome. I know you like the long videos, don't you? Yeah, buggers. Keeping me busy. Put that one into there. Oh no, I'll do it when it's screwed in there, it doesn't move. Where's my Phillips bit? Does smell nice in here. Probably the nicest smelling cab of the week. so far. Yeah, everything is very, very clean in here. And there's even a paintbrush there to move, getting in between the switches. Right, persevere. Ta-da! Quarter to 9, one down. One more to go. Oh, can't be bothered. Can't be bothered. On paper, this one should be easier. But nice if it was a DX85. That's just got like a RAM mount bracket that you just unscrew and unplug and throw a new one in. The other thing as well is, I'll tell you what, I mean, wrong work mode as well. There we go. I wonder if it'll store, I don't think it will, like the hours left on the filters. That'd be worth noting. Right, I don't think it will, like. I don't remember any training on how to pull information on that and put it onto the new one. Well, I'll have to make sure that the software in the new one's up to date as well. Okay. 1, 2, 3 screws. Peel that back gently. Normally I do peeling this back with the window open, but I need to go and get a pick. There we go. I did open the window slightly. It's not getting too much rain in. Right. Go and replace this. Software version 0141. Let's see, shall we? Old one. That one, part number ends with a C, look. This one ends with an E. And it's got different software inside it. There you go. Right, I'll go pop this in. Okay, we're back on. And just double check everything's there, because with the old screens you had to tell the machine that it had two-way. It's got that. It's got that. So it has got the two-way, one-way. The time needs changing. Oh god, I don't want to know what time it is. Like I say, I don't mind. What's the date today? It's not that date. Month, it's the 9th, 2024, and it is the 25th. Time, what is the time? Time. Strong content. 2109. 21. Which way is quicker? That way. Just. 2109. Ugh. There we go. Time and date set. Right, I need to go into the service menu. Right, we're into the machine configuration via the service menu, so we just need to make sure all these are ticked. Joystick and option pedal, hydraulic pedal. We haven't got rotate lines on it. Hasn't got a dozer on it. Hasn't got a tilt rotator. Function option. Doesn't have any of them. Machine option. Doesn't have them. It's got those. Good. General option. We've got smart key ticked. Cool. Vehicle name, it knows it's a 210. Machine serial number, it doesn't know what that is. So I'll have to go and get out the cab and go and look at that. 10. Ugh. I'd rather escalate. Definitely here longer than I expected to be. Ugh. Don't know if you noticed, but I had the arms stretched out while I was working away here. That dipper arm's dropping. I don't know whether it's the lock valve, you know, when you try to grade. I don't know. I'll speak to him in the morning anyway after he's had a go with it, see if it's any better or not. We'll come out and get a second look in the daylight. Hopefully. I'll leave that cardboard there, at least it looks like I've made an effort. Right, home time. Thursday morning, first job of the day is done. Pipes for this bucket. I'm not gonna get lost. Customer wanted these as well, but if he takes that like that, they're gonna fall out of there, aren't they? I'll give these to the storesman. Maybe if I put them on there like that, I'll drop him a message. I can't be bothered going back in the gaff now. I am grumpy today. So grumpy. Yeah, I'll be honest with you, I had a bit of a lie-in this morning. You know yourself, if you end up doing something daft like that, the whole day just starts off on a rush and a hurry, doesn't it? Normally Alan wakes us up in the morning, but he snuck off downstairs without me noticing, or waking us up anyway. So yeah, next thing I knew, it was 10 to 8. Straight into my trousers, wash my face, quick cup of coffee and into the van. Oh, I hate starting the day rushing around like that. Anyway, heading out west-ish, local west. Don't know how to describe it really, but anyway, I'm going to go and have a look at a quick hitch on an 8.5 tonner. Hitch is closing on its own when he's trying to pick up a bucket. I think it'll be the seals in the ram. And I've got a 27 to go and see. Customer said take a load of green beacons with you. I don't know what's left on them machines. And that 380 still isn't right. The DX380 still isn't right, so I want to call into that and see what error codes have came back, because if it's anything to do with that DPF differential pressure sensor, then it's getting a new wiring loom. Well, I'm not going back to it until I've got one. Alright. Right, so when he's unlocked the hitch and got the hitch unlocked, this tongue here is leaking down the way. And it still is now. As you can see that's moving. Which tells me we're not connected to the machine. So the problem is between the end of that pipe and the ram. See, the ram's damp. So the oil is passing from one side of the seal to the other side. Seal's in the ram's gone, unfortunately. It won't be a bad little ram to reseal that if we have to, but it just depends if there's any scoring or anything. But you can see how the safety mechanism works. If you were to bust a pipe or something, these springs are always designed to keep your attachment on. This fella does a lot of agricultural fencing and he's got a post knocker, and when you're trying to attach the post knocker, because of the angle of the saddle and everything and that, it's a bit tricky to try and get onto the post knocker when this is creeping out the way. So yeah, that's the problem. Pretty open and shut, that one. We'll get a seal kit organised and we'll price up a ram as well, just out of interest. Go from there. I won't care. I think about 18 months ago I put all new tongues and springs, and you know, so I did the hitch up a bit, if you know what I mean. So it's all the strip back out again. Anyway, that's that. Oh, what a miserable day, miserable day. I'm gonna nip through and have a look at a DX19 quick hitch now. It's got a hammer on it and the hammer keeps falling off. It's a manual hitch, so not too sure what we'll find there. That's the next job on the list to do. Slight change to the schedule. I'm just warming that machine up. I'm going to do this one first because the 19 is currently filling in a grave. So I said I'll do that one. I'll come over later. Don't worry about it. I wouldn't want to postpone your job. So come and service this. 500-hour service. According to the machine, it wants engine oil, fuel, and an outer air conditioning filter. So I'll let that warm through for 10 minutes, and I'll look out at the weather and build up a bit more courage to go back out into the rain again. Joys of the job, isn't it? Right, I'm into it. Engine oil's out. Engine oil filter's changed. I just thought I'd show you this. Fair choky like. And damp as well. Also noticed a bit of a fuel leak over here. So I'll have put a spanner on that, see if it's loose. Oh, and also, fan belt is pretty loose. Give that a nip up. Make it a little bit cooler. Yeah, all I can really do with this, you don't get a filter. That's the only fuel filter you get. You just have to clean that one out, which isn't a problem because I've got an airline. I just give it a big old blast. It's had some right stuff through it, hasn't it? Look. Ugh. Gotta love a mini digger on a site. Guarantee most of its life that has been filled up with a "have you got out to fill the digger with" type of situation. Oh, I've got a bucket here. What's in there? Just a bit of cement from yesterday. Oh, that'd be right enough. Classic. Fuel filter wasn't too bad, like the main filter, look. Good. I've replaced a couple of seals on there. I've cleaned that up. I'm just about to adjust the fan belt. That is, of course it is, 14. Because 13 just isn't enough, you know what I mean? That is a 13, yeah. 14, 17, 16, 15, 14. That's. So what you do to adjust the fan belt on these, so I've been asked a few times now, oh, my fan belt's squealing, how do I adjust it up? You've got the tensioner here. You want to slacken that bolt there and then wind that in? Yeah, in, because that pulls it forward. I go on this, tweak it up. Oh. Adjust this up. I'll show you how much deflection you want. So I've given that about a dozen turns. I want about a 10mm deflection, just over maybe. Pretty sure that's what it says to put it to. Okay. So once we've finished there, you don't want to take that nut all the way off in here, you just want to slacken it. And also if you slacken it too far, then it makes that pulley wobbly. And so that'll give you a false impression as to how tight your belt is. When you tighten this back up, the belt will go tighter, you see. So I've just done sort of one full turn of the nut. That's 6 flats. There we go. That should be perfect. Bang on the mark. Engine oil's in it. Good thing. That to kind of sit there. Right, next we'll go and turn the ignition on and then we'll bleed the fuel. I'll show you this time how good it is to bleed the fuel on these. Pop the ignition on. Get one of these trays. Put that there like that. Hold that there. Turn this fuel on and then to bleed. Look! There we go, it's bled. It's that easy. Once we've done that, turn the fuel to the on position. It's so good, I really like that. It's the little things, isn't it? It's a fair big job changing the outer cab filter. 5 bolts to take that cover off. 2 bolts to take this kind of metal piece out, and even then it's just I suppose it's just a little wriggle, but there you go. How effective that is, I don't really know. But there we go, it's the change, so I'm changing it. And then I can go in the card recycling, I'm sure it'll be fine. The little one, that's the big one for in the cab, which we don't need to change today. I just grabbed all the filters because I didn't know how many hours was on it, but if I spent 2.5 minutes I could have had a look on the telematics, found out. Right then, service complete. Fire it up, make sure no leaks. Should kill straight into life, shouldn't it? Yes. Lovely. The owner wanted me to, I think there's a roller and a dumper on site, and he just wants me to check that the green beacons are working. I'll check this one as well while I'm here. In fact, we'll do that now. Thinking about the fuel in this machine. Look at this green beacon a minute, hang on. Hey. When this site was just footings and foundations, I came to this customer's DX85 one Sunday because it was cutting out and wouldn't restart, and that was blocked fuel filters. So maybe it's the site fuel. Anyway. I'll reset these service lights and we'll go and find some other plant and see if we've got an ignition key to begin with to start them and see if the green beacons are all working. Right, I've got a 6-ton Thwaites here. Hasn't got any sign rating on. I'm pretty sure it's this fella's. Don't think I've got a key for it. Yeah, I definitely fitted that seatbelt, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it wants an orange beacon. I think it's got a key in it. Put that into there. Well, the beacons work, it just wants a new top, that orange one. Right, that's cool. It's no drama. There's a roller over there, so we'll go and have a look at the roller. Got a key for this one. No lights. Seatbelt's here. I hope the seatbelt one works at least. Oh. Oh. Do you have to be sat in the seat like on the Necalax? Nope. Beacon switch is on. Nothing. Do we have to start it? I wouldn't have thought so, like. No, nothing. Damn it. Well, the wires weren't even attached to that one, so that would stop that from working, which is the green beacon. I thought, well, surely the LED beacon will work, but no. Hate mucking about with beacons. It's obviously been twanged. Right, multimeter, 227s. Got power here, so green beacon should work. I fitted a new orange beacon on that on the way past. Right, I'll disassemble this. One down, one to go. Let's check for power here. No power. Right then, let's find where that wire goes. Find a fuse board maybe. Ooh, that would be the fuse board. Which one of them is it? That one didn't show dim properly. Oh god. Right, multimeter, let's go. It was one of them, wasn't it? Started at the bottom and fourth one from the top. Blown. 10 amp fuse, that'd be about right for a beacon. I'll go and get a 10 amp fuse and my fuse saver, we'll plug it in. Plug that wiring back in and see what happens. Right, I know some of you regular viewers have seen me use this many times before, but every time I get this out the box, people ask me, what's that for? That's a good thing. What is it? Where did you get it from? Blah, blah, blah. The Blue Point fuse saver. Right, so I'm going to go back to that machine now. I'm going to put a 10 amp fuse in it, and that fuse is going to blow straight away. So I'm going to go, right, I'll disconnect this and I'll put another fuse in. Oh, that fuse is blown. To save a handful of fuses, what you do is you get your 10 amp fuse, which is this, plug it into here. You also get a 20 amp and is that a 15? And a 15 amp. Put that into the fuse board there. And if the fuse trips, then it flicks that switch there, so you know that you've still got a bad wire. Turn the ignition off, reset it, and do something else, and it doesn't trip, you know where your problem is. It's the same if you've got you grab hold of a wiring loom, shake the wiring loom and it blows the fuse, and you can pinpoint your fault without getting through a pocket full of fuses. Very, very handy. Okay, so the ignition's on. I haven't blown a fuse yet. That's a good start. That means probably the problem is after those wires. So I'm going to check that I've got power there now, because I'm just presuming that that blown fuse was the beacon fuse. Oh good, it was the beacon fuse. So I would assume that rotating beacon, that old-fashioned thing, is what's caused my fuse to blow. That's what I'm assuming anyway. So I might put that LED one off the dumper. Might put that on it and I'll tell them to get a new beacon just to slide on the pole. And it saves them trying to find the fuse that's blown in there. Just put that back on. At least there's something going to be flashing. It's not orange, but it's flashing. I mean, the bloody thing's bright yellow, like, how can you not see that coming towards you? But anyway, that's by the by. Oh no, where's that roller gone? Oh wait, there it is. Oh no, can't quite see it because it's not an orange beacon. It's working. Ugh. Which means it should be safe to put this 10 amp fuse in now. Turn the ignition off. Unplug that. Put this in. Should be golden. There we go. Should we just check it before we put that cover back on? There we go. Right. I quite like that idea, that's really nice there. Just one bolt, the whole lot just slides down, you're in it. Yeah, right. I've got another job to go to after this before I get to my DX19, but it's on the way so it doesn't matter. It's a shame I didn't have a second orange beacon really, isn't it? because I've brought 2 green ones thinking it's always the green beacons that give problems. Anyway, yeah, next job is a little 20 minutes up the road from here. Little 27, paperwork job. Want the Lola certificate before it goes on a job on Monday. Everyone's lastminute.com, aren't they? It's a good job I was out this way today. Job done. A bit of a scare there, the seatbelt wouldn't come out the little reel. We got it working. Works for me, and that'll be fine. So now, I'll sit here and fill out my paperwork, send it off up to HQ, and hopefully they can get a certificate down to them before Monday, and then we can start work. Right, I'll show you in another video because I think this video is getting a bit too long now. But basically this customer got this DX19 about 6 months ago, and just last night couldn't keep an attachment on the hitch. It's a Geeth hitch and it's like a semi-auto hitch, so you unlock it, click your bucket on, and then you know, you're only out the cab once rather than get off to unlock the hitch, drop the bucket off, and then get back on, pick up your other bucket, and then lock the other bucket on. Has that made any kind of sense? Anyway, yeah, it's as though there's something missing, because as soon as you put the toe of the bucket down, the hitch just pops out. It does lock on, but then it doesn't when you put any sort of force through it. So the answer to that is fairly desperate for the machine. We've got a hitch at Carlisle, so my parts man's going to run the hitch out to him. It's only 2 pins, there's no pipes, happily. So that's that problem solved for now. I've got the hitch in the back of my van, and I'll have a look at a parts list and see if there's anything missing off the hitch that I've got in the back of the van. Right, we're fair flying today. How many machines have how many machines have I laid my hands on today? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're on to number 7 now. I'm just calling into this machine. I'm adamant I'm not doing anything with it. I'll tell you when I get there. 6 machines today. 380 ain't where I left it, I don't think. I sent a message to see where it's at, but it hasn't been seen. I've been sat here 5 minutes and it's 10 to 4. I'm going to go back to the yard, get rid of all this junk off the back of my van over the last few days, and reload for tomorrow. And then go to bed. Does take it out of you when you're on the go for, it was just over 14 hours yesterday. I mean, don't get me wrong, if I had something to do now, I would go ahead and do it, and it would take as long as it takes to do. But given the option now, well, might as well go home. So I'll round the video up at that. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.